Today I'm revealing 15 completely different charts, most of them brand new to the market and primed for explosive upside. These aren't recycled calls, they're early, aggressive, and built for highest possible risk-reward setups across all chains. If you're serious about catching the next 50x, 500x, or even 5,000x, this is the channel that's going to find it. But you have to be locked in. Every day matters. Every video matters. The next massive play is already out there, but if you're not watching this show, you're already behind everyone else. Smash the like button. Let's jump into today's 15 breakout setups. Alright, here we are with the massive and extremely important Popcat, now bouncing from this previous resistance, now turned into support. The question is, where is it going to go? Because we're already up massive because we're scooping Popcat down below here. Of course, it's important to pinpoint that it's all up to Bitcoin, but I do think that there's a good chance that we're going to bounce to 630 million market cap. If not, you're going to get a second chance to grab Popcat at 220. Do not forget, once Bitcoin does all-time highs, this is a meme coin that you can actually hold. This one is one you can buy and hold. All the other ones I'm talking about, the vast majority of them are just trades. Popcat, you can actually buy and hold. One of the very few, Popcat and WIF. So if you're looking to hold something and not trade, you can do it on Popcat until all-time highs. But for all the traders out there, your limit orders should probably be hitting. I told you guys to set limit orders at 357. They should be hitting right now. And we are going to go into the next phase for Popcat, which could be 629. For limit orders, as I've been telling everyone, you have to use Axiom, and there's a link down below. Join my Axiom, and eventually when I create my perfect private group, you will be there because only my Axiom traders are going to be in my group. Now let's get on to another one. Please, this one left a bad taste in my mouth because I've been holding since the bottom here since the 10th of April, and honestly, I'm basically almost round tripping my please. But here's the thing, if we draw a trend line, what we're still getting is higher lows. We're getting basically a third touch there at 4 million market cap, possibly. I do think 25 million is still in play. The truth is, I had a 7x and I could have sold, but I didn't even take profits on this one. I hope some of you guys did. Many people were asking me, please chart, please. I don't think it's over. I only think that if it breaks this 2.7 million market cap range and it goes below, then it's truly over for Please. But as long as this trend line holds, as long as we're making higher and higher lows, I'm still holding my Please because I think this is a good and a big meme that can have a blast of a comeback. Now on to the next one. Another one I nailed. I told you guys to buy 𝗘𝗫𝗧𝗏 yesterday. Look, higher lows, 1 times, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, okay? 4 times higher lows, and we're still on track for that 30 million market cap. Fartcoin is doing well, Housecoin is doing even better, and so 𝗘𝗫𝗏𝗧𝗏 is now seen as like the third beta, and it has a massive community, and I think it can go to that 35 million market cap range. And here we are. It is exactly doing that. So now let's get on to the next one. Troll, exactly as I've been predicting. Look, if you set your limit orders as I said yesterday, one of them maybe could have gotten a hit, like right here at the bottom at 22 million market cap. I do think we're still gonna touch that trend line. That's what I think. But maybe one of you guys, let me know in the comments down below if you actually caught this limit order on Troll on Axiom. If you haven't, join Axiom. Okay, start trading memes like a serious and a pro trader. I do think we're going to touch that third line, that trend line, and we're going to go for that 1, 2, 3, 4th touch before we can break all-time highs. But Troll is still looking beautiful. Now on to the next one. This one also disappointed me. It's 𝗘𝗫𝗢𝗏. Okay, broke the trend line. I still think it's in play because look, you got 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 touch of the trend line, and then at 4th touch it broke a little bit below. Now I don't like when this happens, but it didn't go too low. Honestly, it only went to 9.9 million market cap, and it's now at 11.8. So I don't consider the structure to have been completely broken. I do have to say though, if this thing goes to 8 million, I'm out. I'm out on Collat. But I do think that if the trend line gets broken again, we're still in play basically on 𝗘𝗫𝗢𝗏𝗏, still in play for that 21 million resistance and then the 40 million market cap range and get that 4x trade, 3x trade, and it's still basically in play. Now let's go on to the next. 𝗘𝗏𝗏, as everyone who's been following my channel since the start knows, was one of our banger trades listed on Bybit. There's people who made 6 figures playing this thing on Bybit, for example. One of the best looking AI charts on Solana. I told you guys it was still in play, higher and higher lows. Now 162, 150 million was our first target. That's where we took a bunch of profits for the people that were buying down here, anywhere from 4 to 5x. And now I still think 𝗘𝗏𝗏 is primed to go into that 300 million market cap zone. I still have a moon bag, and that's where I'm looking to exit the rest of my 𝗘𝗏𝗏 and the rest of our profits. And that's where I think if you plot the Fibonacci lines, that's where I think you should also be aiming to take profits if you're still riding that moonbag on 𝗘𝗥𝗧. But guys, come on, if you've been watching the show, you should have taken more than initials. You should have taken lots of profits here. This was a good trade to buy with size. Now on to the next one. Another one on Hyperliquid that we nailed here on the show is PIP. Told you guys to buy here at the bottom and again at that second touch. Now up an impressive 3x on PIP. I completely forgot about it. Forgot to mention it last week it started moving, but if you're watching the show and you pay attention to all these, okay? Look, you don't have to buy all of these. Only the ones you think are better. Never put all your money into one, okay? Always spread, and you should be trading at least like 3 coins minimum. But if you have been paying attention to the show, I also mentioned PIP on Hyperliquid, but I completely forgot. I mean, it's so many charts, so many trades, but this is another one that's up a 3x. And as I said previously, not gonna do anything until we get that 17x. PIP is one of the biggest ones, 9 million market cap, okay? One of the biggest ones on Hyperliquid. There's also on Hyperliquid another one that is primed for a 10x, but this one is, I think, a very secret gem. We nailed 𝗘𝗫𝗥𝗧𝗏. I mean, 𝗘𝗫𝗥𝗧𝗏, what a perfect trade for all of us. I think PIP could even become a better trade on Hyperliquid. It could become one of those where everyone on the channel is trading on Hyperliquid memes is going to win. Don't forget Hyperliquid memes, okay? Very, very underrated. Another one is Dark. I mean, look at this. The price was here at 24 million, and I said it's gonna come here and probably bounce into the resistance. And I drew this. If you see the previous shows, okay, the chart wasn't coming down here. Look what happened. Bang. Once again, you go on Axiom. If you had set your limit order here, stack a bunch of limit orders close to the support. And then what you do is, say you want to sell close to 23. You click sell, limit sell, and say you want to sell close to, say, 23 million market cap here. You put the amount of SOL you want to sell. The price will not break through until your limit sell gets filled. These are trades you can make while you sleep. Axiom will enter the trade and exit the trade without you doing anything. And then you just wake up on your profit. That honestly was your dark entry. There's a low likelihood it's gonna come down here, so you should never enter with the full position. Always leave a 10%, a 20% left for the worst case scenario, in case it comes and retouches this, and then a whale nukes the chart into the previous support and resistance, which was resistance here and support here, okay? But I think this is a low likelihood scenario, but still, you should have gotten your entry here. It was a perfect entry on dark. Good trade. People could have gotten anywhere from 60-70% basically on the straight setup. Now let's move on to the next, 𝗘𝗫𝗥𝗧𝗏. 𝗘𝗫𝗥𝗧𝗏 broke the trend line. I'm out. It's not looking good. It's a good liquidity coin on a decent market cap, but I'm not enjoying this setup. I need to see 𝗘𝗫𝗥𝗧𝗏 break above, retouch, and then I'm in again, or at least just come back close and explode back higher. I think it's safer for us to basically re-enter 𝗘𝗫𝗥𝗧𝗏. This one is on base, but if a coin can't survive that fourth touch, I mean, it's not looking good. Now again, another one we've been playing very well is ARK. I told everyone to buy here at the bottom. It's basically a 2.3x. I still think 151 million is still in play for something like ARK. ARK right now is a bit slower than AI16Z and AIXBT. The reason why I wanted you guys to trade AI16Z and AIXBT the previous week is because they have so much mindshare that a bounce was basically obvious. And so you could have gotten a 3x on both of them, but we sold at something like a 2.5x. Now, when it comes to ARK was like a third option, a third trade. If those two keep going, I think ARK is still set to pump to 151 million market cap, but it's going to lag because it's not as exciting and it doesn't have as much mindshare. But I think the trade setup is still there. Now, when we have the chart is Dino or Dino on base. Look at this rocket. To me, the place to buy is very obvious. Right here, this previous resistance should turn into support at 7 million, and this level, which was previous support. This is where you buy. If the price doesn't rebound here, doesn't come back here and retouch this, then I'm just not gonna enter. Major support here on the beginning of April, 5 of April, 6, 7 of April, and then major resistance here, okay? This is the level to enter on something like Dino. This fair value gap where you had a lot of support and a lot of resistance. So here's what I'm seeing. Touches 15 mil, and then there's something like this before it continues. And I think 20 million is an obvious great place to sell something like Dino because it's one of those mental levels we talk about, but you can also take your initials there at 15 million. But that's what I'm seeing on Dino. If it doesn't do this, then honestly, we shouldn't enter. The other likelihood scenario, the extremely bullish one, this thing goes straight to all-time highs and then does a cup and handle and it continues. And then we have to reassess where to enter on that cup and handle. But to me, this is the highest likelihood scenario on something like Dino. So if you're looking on base or a gym to scalp to trade, buy this one because it has very good momentum. So if it comes here, it's probably gonna bounce. Another one on Hyperliquid that is still in play for that 8.5x is Just as I've been predicting, told you guys, 2 touches at support, still going. The reason why I haven't talked about it in the last week is because nothing much happened. It's still going up slowly. I do think it's a good buy at 70 million. Why? This is the biggest meme coin on Hyperliquid. Look, 70 million market cap, all-time high for 115. If Hyperliquid starts turning and bouncing, this one will definitely go to all-time highs. I think this is the safest meme trade on Hyperliquid, to be honest. And I think this is a good long-term hold. So if I'm buying at 70 mil, and then let's say worst case scenario, it comes and retouches 40 mil, okay, I'll buy some more. If you haven't been watching the show and you have no purr, do not just buy your full bag here, okay? Wait a little bit longer, be patient, because there might be a retrace. But the people who are watching should have bought here at 40 million market cap. And now I do think there's not going to be much resistance. Once the rocket starts going, it's going to go straight to that 8.5x 400 million market cap range. Another one I nailed is 𝗘𝗏𝗧𝗏. 𝗘𝗏𝗧𝗏 is the abstract meme coin. To me, this is buy and wait to 50 million because this is the biggest meme coin on 𝗘𝗏𝗧𝗏 chain, which is another chain that no one talks about like Hyperliquid, okay? These trades are very easy. I told everyone to buy the trend line. Look, remember we were here, I said this is a good place to buy. Then the price bounced and came to 15 million. I said don't buy here, okay? There's an obvious trend line here of resistance. Then it came, it touched 1 time, 2 times, touched the blue line. Sadly, Axiom doesn't have limit orders for something like abstract yet, but if you were able to scoop it, this was the level, the 7 million market cap zone. Now it's recovering and it's already basically setting itself up for new all-time highs. And I do think it's going to go to 50 million because it's the biggest meme coin on an entire chain. So I think 50 million should be a good target. Now, another one. This one is on Ethereum. If you're on ETH, I think this is the best meme coin to buy. This is the 𝗲𝗍𝗪 gold coin. Still at 30 million. We went down to 22 million market cap, bumped to almost 40. I think this is a good long-term play, okay? The first resistance is going to be 60 million market cap. And then the second resistance is going to be right here, 190 to 180 million market cap. I think these are the only major resistance levels for 𝗲𝗍𝗪. Anything below 60, to be honest, is a buy, hold, and wait. Because if you think in the next 2 years, Ethereum is going to make all-time highs, maybe even go to 10K, then think what the main community on Ethereum, which is all these 𝗲𝗪𝗪s, even if Vitalik had a 𝗲𝗪𝗪 EFP, think how high will this thing go? Okay, so if you're not rich, you should not be buying ETH. You should be buying something that's going to outperform ETH inside ETH. And I think this is it. 𝗲𝗪𝗪𝗪 gold coin. Look, giant accumulation just going sideways. It's going to come here, find some resistance. I think 60 million turns into support. And then it's just going to rip into this major resistance. After this, straight to all-time highs. All-time highs on this are 500 million market cap. Something that used to be 500 million, you can buy now for 32 million. And if you do some moon math, you basically have something like a 15x. And if it breaks all-time highs convincingly, you can even get more. You can even get maybe a 20x, but this could be like a 15x on a very good liquidity coin, okay? Very highly liquid. I think Ethereum whales are probably gonna play this one once Ethereum starts going. But to me, this is the highest alpha coin right now on Ethereum. Safest coin with the highest level of alpha, okay? I don't think that there's another coin that's this safe, this liquid, that can pull a 15x on ETH. Now, finally, we have to talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin was here struggling at resistance. It came to 96, 97. This is where all the shorts got wiped. If you look at liquidity heat maps, this is where all the shorts got wiped. Again, I will emphasize this. It is not time to top blast. If meme coins are making all-time highs, do not throw money irresponsibly. We are not at that moment. We will one day, and I will explain to you when that moment comes, where we can basically go all in on risk, but that's not the moment. The last month has been perfect for everyone watching the show. I mean, 15x's, 20x's, 3x's, just 5x's out the yin yang, okay? This is not the moment to take max risk. The moment to go maximum on risk is you wait for a Bitcoin pullback, you wait for fear to come, and that's when you go all in on risk. The truth is, I've been taking profits. Everyone who's been watching our show has been taking profits. I have people who made 100K. I have people who've been making 10K, 20K, okay? I got those people on my DMs. And so be careful, okay? This is time to be careful because everyone's too bullish. Everyone thinks everything's perfect right now, okay? That's when I start getting scared, okay? I'm basically the perfect contrarian out here on YouTube. Right now, be careful with meme coins. This was today's message. I hope you have enjoyed this show. I have another show for you tomorrow, Saturday. I'm going to be doing a show about Axiom and about also fibs. So if you want to understand how I use fibs and how to use Axiom, because I predicted, for example, the dark top, I predicted the troll top to perfection. I also predicted where these levels were going to go on stuff like Fartcoin, like 𝗘𝗏𝗥𝗧𝗏, for example. And if you want to understand how to use limit orders and how to use fib line extensions, then watch tomorrow's show because it will be very, very important and educational. Thank you very much. See you guys tomorrow.